All right, everybody, welcome back to the Gaming Stadium Anniversary Month Valorant Tournament. Johnny Esports, joined by Bowser. I hope I pointed the right way. I did. And we are into the semi-finals now. We're getting In Control versus Weary Boys. In Control had the undefeated run through the Swiss rounds and, of course, won their quarterfinals. And now they're up here against the Weary Boys, and it should be an absolute crazy one as they're kind of going through their pick bands right now for the maps. Just quickly go for that. Freeze, Icebox, and Split so far, banned.
Yeah, so I think we're probably going to see another Ascent maybe, or even Haven, commonly the highest pick rate maps when it comes to competitive play. The reason being that these maps are very, very balanced on both attack and defense, and most of the teams are very comfortable with it because it's a very standard style map where you've got the mid control, where it's the fastest type of rotation in the game. Then there's also like the A main and B main control piece where it's very simple and cookie cutter idea to play in those maps versus something like Breeze, for example, where you have to worry about all these short flanks coming through elbow or halls and some weird map control corners. And so most of these teams just find it more comfortable right now. But yeah.
You can understand that the Haven was kind of that last one banned out there. So our first map looks like it's going to be Ascent there. So as you're saying, like we're going to see another one of those.
Yeah, and these semifinals are a best of 3, so we will get 3 full maps. And Ascent being a classic first map, we'll probably see another Haven and an Icebox or Split in there. But before we get to that, Ascent, not too sure if we've seen these teams on there before, but we know for sure that In Control Gaming was a team that has beat Swag and Friends. So it's Swag and Friends that were just knocked out in quarters. So In Control, probably the favorites going into this one here.
Yeah, and from chat, we got a few In Control fans too going on in there too as well. So we're kind of getting there. Bear wanted to make sure that their team was going to be on stream, and well, you got your wish, like I said. So you're going to be on there. But while we're waiting to finish off the setup here, we're going to give a shout out, of course, to our couple sponsors for this event. Of course, TGS themselves. Today's event is being put on by Canada's leader in esports. That is the Gaming Stadium. So if you're looking for the next big thing in competitive gaming, we'll look no further. The team at the Gaming Stadium are leaders in online esports tournaments and events. So check out the action at tgs.gg, as well as another sponsor in Kanto. So if you're looking for that final piece for your work from home or gaming setup, you can go right to cantoliving.com for all of your needs to build a best workstation or battle station. Check out their monitor mounts, speakers, and stands today, especially their speakers. The speakers are super top quality things, and they look really cool. Like that's such a underrated thing for your computer setup, but they look good too. So that's definitely all available for you there. And we're getting into the map now. As we're getting started here, our first map here, it's going to be Bind.
Yeah, so it looks like Bind was actually the first map that's going to be picked here. Bind is a very, very popular map to run the classic Astra Viper combo. And we're going to be seeing it coming out from both teams here. So get ready for some nice frame drops as soon as all that utility comes out. But very, very choke heavy on the side of defense and attack, where you just stick all your controller utility in those chokes, and it makes it very, very difficult to push through.
Yeah, it could be a tough one when they kind of had that setup that's just made for a strong defense and kind of one of the wilder maps to defend too. Obviously, using those portals gets you some good rotations here. But we're into the pistol round now. Again, In Control have been and had a easy quote-unquote tournament so far. They've just been absolutely dominant. Exciting to see how strong they really are here. And they're starting off with an aggressive defense. They actually 5-stack, try to push together them. But Weary Boys are all going the other way. They're all going towards B.
So now it looks like attack and defense have swapped sides, and they're playing the opposite roles. The spike's going to get planted towards B, and they're going to play for control of elbow and long here, the Weary Boys are. So let's see how this turns out in the post plant.
All right, yeah, this could be a tough post-plant situation to retake on, but they're going for it. YOLO's going to throw out that first nade there. Going to jump into with that one, and nice shot to take down Kanar, but Kanar was at least able to go Parker before that happened. Meanwhile, Ronnie was able to trade there with Zeno, so it's still 3v3 here. We turn into YOLO trying to take down J-Ron, but J-Ron gets the better of them. That's going to leave Bear as the last one here, gets taken down by Dag. And Weary Boys they're able to bamboozle them. All of them go to the B site and get the pistol round win.
Yeah, so that was a very, very good default coming out from Weary Boys. Nianji sitting all the way back by the cave so that if any push or aggressive play was coming out from Showers, could spot that out, call it to the team, and the team knows right away. We can aggress at B because they're pushing hard at A with at least 2 to 4 players pushing out Showers with the double teleport coming in. So nice spot out by Nianji, and the call to go towards B, as well as the post plant setup with the double in long, and then putting the rest of the players in elbow to secure that round.
Yeah, definitely a solid pistol round there, and a rather interesting one. Don't see that happen too often where both 5 stacks are kind of going in different places, but like you said, just a good call out there to realize that that B site was open and to get onto it. But see if J Ron's going to do when they meet up here. They will trade 1 for 1, and he'll usually take that, especially since the rest of your team is actually heading over towards the A site here.
Yeah, so that's just a trade of information versus space. So they got the information of 2 players being on B. You lose the gun, but you gain so much space on A. So sometimes you take it and you think it's worth.
Dig and Ronnie are able to pick up a couple here before anyone kind of gets onto site. Infamous, though, will at least trade 1 more. But can Bear hold this one down here?
Last player standing.
Well, Infamous goes down, so it will have to just be Bear by themselves, but eventually Day's going to pick them up. 3K in the round for them, and a nice start here for Weary Boys. They're up 2-0.
Yeah, getting the spike down and carrying over 2 SMGs is a pretty big second buy round, so that you can carry more weaponry over to this bonus to try to get as many rifles off of the in control as possible.
Yeah, they're going to try to get that done, but we're going to get rifles here on in control. We're going to see if they're able to hold us off, but in control, you know, a little bit of a slow start for them, but certainly nothing to panic about yet early on in this game. Yeah. Getting motion into the B site.
That's the classic raised lineup boombot that everyone has for clearing out the entirety of hookah. So they're going to know there's at least 1 player taking in hookah, and they're going to be playing a retake setup on B with playing double towards the long side of things.
They're getting onto the site. They concede it does Weary Boys, like as you mentioned, just so that everyone else can come in and then start to flank them here for a retake. But Parker at Xenos take down 4. And KR gets melted down clean. Absolutely clean retake here for In Control.
Yeah, In Control know that playing towards B, it's very difficult to hold the entirety of the site. So normally what you do is you either opt to play retake in elbow spawn, or you can send 2 players towards long or 2 players towards hookah. This round they decided to send 2 players towards long because of the long range weaponry advantage you're going to have with the rifles here. And from there, if you're trying to dry peek into those rifles, you're just going to get mowed down, and that's exactly what happened. Because Weary Boys simply just don't have a flash. Their team comp doesn't have any flashes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very big thing to note. And yeah, but like you said, bonus there for Weird Boys. They're still able to buy up here on this one, but if Control can take another round here, it could be pretty significant. So chalk this up as an important early round for both these teams. YOLO, living up to their name, goes in, gets 1. Bear taking down another, so 4v3. But Weary Boys now on this attack are down a person.
In Control, 3 rounds in a row. Look like they're scrimming right now. They're just running set play after set play after set play. First round, they take the long teleporter. Second round, they take the short teleporter. This round, they just send it down, be long behind the Cosmic Divide with the satchel and the guiding light.
Yeah, they certainly got some spicy and aggressive defensive moves here by In Control. Obviously, you're kind of used to maybe everyone sitting back or whatever, but that's not how In Control plays. They're going to bring you the fight right up into your face, and getting a bomb plant here. Bear trying to spot them out now. Spike is planted. As Bear's trying to move into it. Infamous trades. It's going to leave 1 player left here on Weary Boys. Nang is going to be able to grab that one. Parker, though, takes him down. So that means In Control will tie up the rounds 2-all.
Yeah, In Control, they're taking control of Belong there. With a very important set play and winning the upper side of the trades there. So they went 2 for 1, which put them into a 4v3. Now you just sit back on whatever site you want to play. Then you go on the opposite side. Instead of going full offense, you go full defense. Let them plant the spike, and then you just choke them from all sides. And they had one towards showers, one coming in through the spawn, and one flanking in the shape of Parker. So very, very easy retake, and you just trade out the numbers again. It's just so simple when you have that numbers advantage. And the hardest part is getting that first pick to go up in numbers.
Yeah, absolutely huge there. And so we are getting a little bit of save now for Weary Boys. Let's see what they can kind of do in this eco round here. Here, the Blade Storm being used there by the Jet player.
They're really aware that they like to use that default Boombot setup to try to take control of Hookah early. Uses the Guiding Light to trade back, gets the Boombot away, so then now they don't have Hookah control. And so Weary Boys are opting to probably go for a short push here.
Yeah, they are certainly stacking in there. It's a short A, but haven't made the move quite yet. So we're watching right now Bear chilling out here onto the B site, but maybe they're getting onto A now. Looks like Jet is going in on for it. J-Ron's going to be able to pick that one up and did so cleanly. Rotation here coming in from Bear. Let's see if they can help with the rest of their team. Right now they're getting onto the site. Everyone playing it back for In Control. J-Ron, though, was able to pick up another one. Niang looks like they grabbed Infamous 2 as well. So the bomb now being planted as we watch Bear here continue to get in behind site. They are now... we watched them walk all the way from their site, and all we heard was all their teammates dying.
Yeah, Bear's probably going to opt to save in this situation. Not too sure how great economy is for In Control, but I can't imagine it's where it could be to buy up fully for the next round. Gets a pick off Ronnie here. That could be big.
Do they pay for it with their life, though? That trade there. Gonna try to get there. Jet drops their Blade Storm here, and J-Ron doing decent damage to them. Now J-Ron just trying to use the smoke to just run out and get away, but Bear is rushing at them, able to take him down. Does meet up with Kanar 2 as well. Down to 12 HP. They're trying to run out of there, save their gun. Well, at least they did some damage. Bear looking to impress.
Yeah, Bear holding on to that gun, able to carry it over to this next round here. And it does look like In Control are going to try to do a soft force here.
Yeah, looks like they're doing exactly that. Let's see if they can be able to defend this one. Weird Boys now up 3-2 after that win. So we're trading rounds back and forth here a little bit. This could be the close game we've been wanting for. And of course, this is just the first game in a best-of-3 semifinal here. YOLO now with the showstopper. No one to shoot it at, though. So that will basically go unused, but does effectively slow anyone down, potentially, if they were planning to come out that way. But they're starting to make the B long hit now, as Daig is leading the charge into that one.
Yeah, good response coming out from Weary Boys here. They hear the showstopper towards A, so they move towards B. And it's just such a simple call. But Daig gets a trade back, and lots of action happened here. So many trades happen. J-Ron takes down Ink Bear, and then Infamous trades right back, and now it's a 2v3 situation. We've got one rotating towards spawn and one Infamous coming through teleport here.
Okay, all right. Let's see what the two of them can do here on the retake. Not much when J-Ron is standing in an excellent spot. YOLO by themselves now. Does take down J-Ron. Gonna throw out a nade there into the middle. Don't think that did any damage. Maybe a little bit to Ronnie, but Ronnie will finish them off. 4-2 lead here now for Weary Boys. And In Control, I'd imagine we'll need to save in this round.
Yeah, and the state of this game seems to me that it's going to be In Control pushing, and if Weary Boys don't die on their default and obtain the information they need, they end up winning the round. So it's all the game of, is In Control taking control of the space where we're trying to push off the bat? And if they are we going to win those trades? And if they don't get the trades right off the bat, In Control just can't seem to find anything when it comes to the mid-rounds.
In Control going for the quasi-buy here in this one, actually, so could be a gigantic round for Weary Boys to win. But if the risk works out for In Control, they could potentially be back in control of this game. Pun completely intended. J-Ron trying to dash in. Xenos trying to take him out. Will pre-fires before J-Ron gets around the corner, takes him down, but Dig will at least trade, which is a nice deal for the attackers. They're getting onto this A site now, starting to plant with the spike.
Infamous with an Odin in heaven gets one towards Niang too, so now it's a 4v3 situation and the Seekers are coming out from the flank, guiding light as well. It's gonna be good to be blind too, and YOLO's gonna try to push off that. Tries to find one towards Dig, but gets traded instantly by Ronnie, and now it's a 2v2 again. Infamous still in heaven with this Odin.
Now let's see if Parker can get anything done here. Kanar sitting right on top of the spike, trying to see if anyone pops off here. Infamous, you're going to be seen there. Parker tries to jump out, gets traded. 1v1 here as we watch Ronnie in that astral form here. Can they stop this? Just firing through that poison cloud, taking down Infamous. Able to clutch out that round. Weary Boys now up 5-2, and again, that's a big round.
Yeah, that 1v1 just came down to whoever could use their utility a little bit better. Infamous trying to use that poison cloud to swing out of. Doesn't swing wide enough, and so Ronnie gets that gravity well suck, and you know where the center of the star is when you place it, so just spray towards that location, find that final frag. And yeah. It's 5-2.
You say you know when the star is. Whenever I play Astral, I lose track of them all the time. So good on them for paying attention to what they did. Weary Boys looking real impressive in this one. In control, their aggressive play has not been rewarded in the past few rounds here. Like you're saying, if they don't get that pick early on, they definitely struggle through the rest of that round here. But Ronnie is going to pick down a couple. He's the one getting the pick. So now in control, have to fight 3v5.
Yeah, I want to see in control maybe try to sit back a little more and not go for aggression off the bat. Try to mix it up and see how that turns out.
I think I agree with that. As cool as it was, they are obviously trying to make really aggressive plays. I'd love to see that kind of stuff, but Weary Boys right now just have an answer for it. So you got to change up, I believe, once things are just being answered pretty solid here. Spike now planted over at the A side, and two members here of In Control. What can they do? Again, this was a save round, so it's not like they were expected to be able to take down this one, but still, Weary Boys are just taking them down, and Ronnie just showing how you actually play this character, not like how I do. And they're able to get another couple frags there. Weary Boys up 6-2.
Yeah, In Control, trying to go for a walk flank, push fast, thinking that no one's holding the flank, but Ronnie just sitting in cave, being the rat that they need to find two free frags when they don't clear those corners.
Yeah, and right now it seems a lot of it is In Control, just like kind of not crossing their T's and dotting their I's kind of on some things. Like you said, not peeking corners here and getting caught in those situations. They're just like rushing into it and getting aggressive. They're potentially doing it again here. There's a couple of them we're thinking of maybe going down B long, but they are gonna be back there. But the push is continuing to come in towards them. So maybe In Control are taking a little bit of your advice there and hanging back here a little bit, but also got to deal with a Viper's Pit.
Yeah, and if you're Weary Boys here, you probably don't want to fight this Viper's Pit. As soon as the Aldrone gets taken out and gets answered by the Molotov there, there's not much you can do to get into this. So rotating off to the other bomb site is probably, spike site is the better option here.
Ooh. Showstopper. Get stopped. YOLO able to give that one. Xenos, meanwhile, is going to pick up another one. YOLO now with 2 kills. Switch over towards the pistol. Going to throw at the Roomba. See if they can spot out Ronnie right here, who's now all of a sudden by themselves. He's been In Control's best round so far. Ronnie takes down one more, but Parker will finish it off, and In Control finally take down a round and that 4-0 run that Weary Boys were on, down 36.
Yeah, really great mix up there from In Control. Just like how we said it, we wanted them to slow down, play a more defensive style, especially when you have Viper and Astra, whose strengths are controlling choke points. If you're trying to push through those choke points against the Viper Astra, it's probably not going to work as well for you. And this time around with the Viper's Pit as well, they were able to take and not lose control of long there and hold out for a long time. And another Sub Rosa ult coming out here.
Well, let's see if they're going to be able to push through this one. Weary Boys themselves are also playing this one a little calmer, but I say that and Parker just kind of try to peeks around a corner, take down Yang.
Yeah, and you see it here, like the gravity wells being used on those choke points make it impossible for you to go through. You just need to go back. There's no other way. Unless you're Jet who has a dash to go through it, you're getting sucked to the center and maybe probably sprayed through a smoke.
Yeah, and Weary Boys right now, they're spread out here, potentially looking for a pick for their own. As we watch, Dig is walking onto site. He takes down YOLO. Infamous, though, at least takes them out. So one more is rotating over, but now J-Ron is starting to move through elbow here. Could potentially get in behind them. Parker is looking at the spot now, but he looked out of the way just in time for J-Ron to finish him off. Meanwhile, Ronnie then takes down Xenos there, so they're going to get this spike planted. Cosmic Divide coming down here. Going to make this retake pretty difficult.
Yeah, this Cosmic Divide's going to let all the players of Weary Boys reposition to places for the post plant. J-Ron's going to play solo here for the U-Haul position to get as much information as possible, as well as dance around this Cosmic Divide. Gravity Ball on the spike, stalls some time.
Ooh, Infamous walking out, taking down J-Ron. 2v2 now. Spike ticking away. Infamous picks up a third, but Ronnie takes them down. So 1v1. Can Bear take down Ronnie here? Look at the kid about Ronnie running side to side. But there's the spike. It's going to go boom, boom. Means Weary Boys take down another round. 7-3 now.
And that was a really great round coming out of Weary Boys. The whole idea was Dag was walking up by himself, up B long, finds the first pick, which is huge, and then gets information that a second player is towards B. And after that happens, you're calling that there might be players hookah or another player behind Dag to trade because you don't know because Dag got the first kill. And the rotation pulls the players off of A to the back site instead of fighting for control of A when you had 3 there. And then from there, the rest of Weary Boys can just trickle onto the A site, get the spike plant, Cosmic Divide to reposition, and it takes forever for that divide to go down. And In Control don't have the time, even though they kill every single player, because the 6th enemy again strikes back.
Yeah, it always kind of seems sometimes you get down to that. Like 1 or 2 rounds ends up going out, even though like maybe you played some parts better, but time runs out and you still end up losing a round. Those ones always sting because they always feel like, oh, that should be our round, which means like you're 2 rounds down because you didn't win the round you thought you were going to win. And now it's all tough as everyone plays ring around the rosy, around the spike here. But Weary Boys, confident clearly as they are ready to get into this one. But we got a little bit of a pause.
Yeah, In Control taking the tactical timeout most likely to figure out what they need to do in order to bring this back to a 5-7 half. Because if they can do that, they can probably take it over into the other side of attack. And if they have some set strats like they do on defense, this could very much still go the way of In Control.
Yeah, and it's one of those things there, like you when you see a team that plays defensively this aggressively, maybe that spells positive for when they're on attack because that's just like how they like to play. They like to be on attack. So if they can, like you said, get to 5-7, heck, I'd even take 8-4 if I were them at this point. You'd be in a pretty decent position to make the comeback on attack if that is indeed where you're more comfortable.
All right, this is a 3-player setup on A site here, and they're just going to walk into this.
Sharon just walks up, takes down YOLO. Just quick reactions there on that one. Bear, meanwhile, getting taken down by Niang as we watch J-Ron get into a firefight here with Xenos. Xenos is going to back up there. Spike being planted now.
Not the best round to come out of a tactical timeout into. J-Ron straight up just walks into U-Haul because they've been hitting it with the dash and the concuss right off the bat. This time just silently walks up. No one's spotting for it.
Oh, I thought Parker had that one. Unfortunately, just missed that shot there. Ronnie takes out one, but Infamous down. Double there with the own, and Dig and J-Ron finish off the round, though. 8-3 here for Weary Boys.
Yeah, and continuing that point, no one's spotting for that U-Haul cross. Means that J-Ron just walks up, gets the peek onto YOLO, not expecting a player to walk up like that, because every single time they've taken U-Haul before this round, it's been the Astronova Pulse combined with the Jet Dash. And this mix-up just throws YOLO off so much, and J-Ron gets a free pick. And after that, the paint shell's going up back green, back triple, flushes out the sky and makes it an easy site take from there, 5v3.
Yeah, and this makes it a tough round here for In Control because they have a very, very awkward bye here into the final round of the half. They really wanted to win that last one, but see what they got here. They do have the Viper's Pit there. See if that potentially ends up helping in here.
In Control.
Make a lot of noise.
Sitting back here with the Viper's Pit. And if they win this round again, I really want them to go back to the drawing board and try to figure out what is wrong with the type of aggression that they're doing on defense. Because although it's winning them some rounds here and there, I think it might be better just to sit back when you're playing the double controller compositions like this.
Yeah, and it's won them some rounds, but it's being that aggressive has lost them more rounds than it's won them. But with the rounds they did win, like they like the one round in particular where they just let Weary Boys get on site and then they retook it after there, just a really, really good setup after the plant. That's the kind of stuff that you see and you go, oh wow, In Control really have a good game plan. But then you look at the rest of the rounds where it's just kind of like running into trouble. It's been rough, but here we go. Hit coming onto the A site now here for the Weary Boys. They're getting this spike planted here with no one down yet, but YOLO finally opens up the round to take down one. Dig rotating over, trying to come at this one. They might be coming all the way around here. Only 10 seconds left here. They got to get this spike planted. And they will get it down, which is barely enough time. They're going to get onto the B side. Dig took down one more. Xenos running away from that grenade. But In Control here, need to kind of steal this round.
Recon Bolt backside's going to clear out any information of any players pushing in. So now it's going to allow the Sova to reposition into the cubby instead of playing mid 2. But there's still this Viper Pit up, and it's going to be a hard retake if they don't get the egg right off the bat.
Yep, Parker gets one. Zito gets the other one here. Dake will trade, but that means you have no team left. So In Control, take this one, really steal this one away. And like I said, 8-4 is kind of something you'd take, considering how the defense seems to be a little bit poor here for In Control. And now they're on the attack, and now they get to be the aggressors. And the comeback is definitely plausible, but if Weary Boys play as strongly as they did, players like Infamous do it. Excuse me, players like Dag sitting at 14-7-2 there, they're looking real strong. Want to continue that. Ronnie, we've seen pop off a bunch of times there on the Astra. Can make it difficult here, but I'm not counting In Control out yet, that's for sure.
Yeah, In Control looking very strong when they're doing the attacking side of things. So let's see how it goes when they are taking the spike sites instead. Looks like they're going to opt for a 3-2 split here heading towards B where there's only 2 players. So they've got a good read on this one here if they can get in.
Definitely that split push towards the B site as you mentioned. They are going to get into here. YOLO clearing out Hookah. The two players on Weary Boys are playing back on the site. They're getting onto this now. Rotations are starting to come over. Kanar opens up the round, so In Control are down numbers, but they're still getting the spike planted here. What are they going to do here is they're getting into it. Parker has a chance. Look at a couple too, but will back off. J-Ron gets a couple for themselves. Now In Control down to 2 members here. Parker getting rushed on. He gets taken down. Only Xenos left here. He's able to pick up a couple for themselves. But with 3 people remaining, Yang is able to take them out. And a defuse comes through here. Big pistol round here for Weary Boys.
Yeah, In Control there were able to get the spike down, but after that, it didn't seem like they were really coordinated on where they were going to fight for space and fight for control of the map. And ultimately, they just end up getting overrun. They lose elbow control. They have 1 player towards long, 1 player inside the wood plank cubby, and they just get picked off one by one instead of fighting in angles together. And because of that, Weary Boys just take the round.
Yeah. Definitely impressive stuff here. In Control need to get it in control early now, or this one's going to slip away from quickly. Again, though, it is a best of 3 here in the quarterfinals, so still lots of semifinals. Still lots of match left to go, but we got a 5 stack going into Hookah here. See if Ronnie's gonna be able to slow them down. They're starting to push into it now. They jump right past him, but Ronnie is able to spray down one. Kanar takes down the other. Eventually, Bear is able to pick him off here, but they are onto site. They're getting this plant off.
Planted.
Big just trying to see if they get down. The smoke goes down. They get a little bit of damage onto Infamous. Here comes the rotators over. J-Ron with the Marshall's gonna be able to pick up one. Looking to grab that one. Ooh, I thought they were actually gonna get that flick there, but Bear picks up 3K, but J-Ron will take them out. Weary Boys with 2 people standing will defuse this one, go up 10-4.
Yeah,
Are rolling around next year.
having control of both hookah and backhaul there, they make the retake super easy for themselves because the player inside Tube and Cubby, they're basically fighting 180 degrees at all time. They have to fight hookah, fight spawn, fight hookah, fight spawn, and making it them question which side's going to peek next is going to be very, very difficult in the players that are in the middle there. And so they just collapse on them nice and easy, get all the picks, and take the retake. So it's 10-4 now. And In Control are going to be able to buy out rifles here. So they're going to need to win this one convincingly to carry rifles to the next round and hope for a comeback.
Yeah, let's see where they go at it. J-Ron gonna use that Bladestorm now. Got someone out here, and J-Ron does it! Taken down 2! That's pure value coming out of your Jet player.
Yeah, Jet player is the only player in the game that can even do that. Just go in there aggressively for those peaks, because even if you whiff, you always have the dash to fall back to, but J-Ron's not whiffing today. J-Ron finds 2 heads in the showers.
Absolutely huge. Now In Control, reeling a little bit. Do they consider like going, hey, we don't have a lot of cash. We just got to maybe save these 3 rifles and just give up this round, but see what they find themselves able to do here. They are starting to push through short. They see that grenade blow up and they're like, nah, let's get out of here. Maybe they try for a B site now, but there's 45 seconds left.
Really like that play from Bear. Bear just throwing out a flash chest to see if there's anything, a setup or something going on there. And they instantly see a jet smoke and the raised nade, so they know, yeah, let's probably not go here.
All right, Ronnie waiting here.
30 seconds left.
Waiting for the rest of the team here, and what a play by Ronnie. Able to take that one down. J-Ron's coming over and now has 3K here on this round. Dig trying to get something done, but Xenos will take them out. And then Xenos picks up a second here. So can Xenos get anything done here with 13 seconds? Not likely, not without the spike. And looking to just try to save this rifle, but Nyang will deny the save. Absolutely huge. Weary Boys completely in control of this one, 11-4.
Yeah, it's just difficult when you go into your rifle round and you're trying to take control of showers. They did put down the gravity well and instant recon bolt, but someone there break it for J-Ron, so they don't have showers control yet. And they don't decide to opt more utility. They both swing, but J-Ron just shows the individual prowess of his aim, and it's a 5v3 situation. Even with your rifles gone, it's tough. It's just tough.
Yeah. Tough is just it's the key word there. It's just like when things kind of don't go right for you in the early rounds like they have for Control. There's been so many rounds where your boys pick up 2 to just get things started, and it's like, okay, well now we're automatically playing a 3v5 like 10 seconds into the round, and you're just like, what do you do, boys? And right now In Control, maybe it's a situation where this just isn't as comfortable as a map here. Is Weary Boys feeling comfortable here on this one, but In Control, they've had an easy time through the tournament, but now that they've made it to the semifinals, well, obviously Weary Boys are a very, very good competition for them.
All right, so it looks like the tactical timeout has come through by In Control once again, trying to talk out and figure out how they can get these opening picks better. But I'm going to be honest here, in the last round, it was nothing tactical that happened that was the problem. It was simply a dry peek coming out from J-Ron, and the second player that didn't get headshot needed to trade instantly. If you don't get that trade and J-Ron finds a second, there's not much you can do. So individually, it's you just got to make sure your aim is on point that day. Maybe they didn't warm up well enough, but hopefully they can pick it back up at the end of this round and carry some momentum into the next map.
Yeah, definitely. That's what they're going to look forward to in this one here. Here's J-Ron trying to see if anyone peeks out into this one. Parker firing out some shock arrows. But maybe not enough to do anything there as we tune to Xenos here, who's way back. Bear now moving forward into Hookah. Split effort right now for In Control, but Billow into Hookah here. Does find one. Infamous also took down Niang on the other side of the map too, so this is a quick 5v3 in favor of In Control this time. As are they going to decide to hit onto this B site or teleport over onto the other side? One did anyway, but everyone else seems to be sticking around here on B. And they will get that one planted. So let's see what the two members left here of Weary Boys, what they decide to do.
And it looks like they're going to opt to save here. So carrying over the operator into the next round. They know 2v5, especially on B site, is one of the harder sites to retake when it comes to bind. So I wanted to highlight what In Control did that round that actually led to their success. So they had a player down towards bottom of Fountain, spotting towards long, and they actually spotted a player pushing long. So they know that they can't take control of it. So they have two of their players sit back, and then two of their players take control of Hookah. And when they take control of Hookah, they don't push long at the exact same time. They wait for the players to win the Hookah fights.
Sorry to interrupt you, but there's fighting happening. A couple of frags happened, but Xenos and Infamous eventually finished them down. But hey, they were able to do a ton of damage, at least at the end there, but were not able to save the op and the rifle there. So that makes it difficult going to the next one. Weary Boys still up 11-5.
Yeah, In Control. They're not letting me finish my thought on trying to highlight how they're amazing their play was by trying to get more plays and get that operator off, which they eventually did. So, yeah, just to finish off that idea, what they did was they crunched on the players in long after killing the player's site by taking control of Hookah, since they know they didn't have long control. And from there, all they could do, the solo player in long, was teleport out all the way to the A site, and from there it's a 2v5 retake, and it's tough.
Yeah, great play from In Control, and they're going to need to do more of that to get themselves back into this one. But looks like we got another attack pause here in this game. But Weary Boys up 11-5. But rounds like that, it's kind of crazy to me, because like sometimes when you have like this kind of a score, and the rounds that one team wins, maybe they're like scrappy and they just kind of come on top of it. The rounds In Control have won have been very, very impressive looking. Like every single one of them that they've won, I feel like they go, wow, that's crazy that they do that and have that much coordination to be able to get their plays off, but they're just behind in the score somehow. So it's just the set plays they do have clearly are good. They just don't always execute on them.
Yeah, and this kind of reminds me of like the NA versus EU matchup, where basically NA are more of like the fundamentals. They trade well, they space well, they take things together, use utility team-like. But when it comes to their disadvantage, EU is really, really strong in their set plays and their server homework, where they time their utility perfectly, but they don't have as strong fundamentals. And that's what I'm kind of seeing from In Control here. They don't have the fundamentals completely down, but their set plays are so good, and if they can just get those mid-round calls, get their spacing, their timings, their trades, then In Control can easily be a top team in this game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how they contest this one, as YOLO is in a firefight here with Kanar. Kanar is trying to back away out of that, but taking a ton of damage in the process of doing so. Xenos, meanwhile, got taken down during all of that. Who tries to go for the Ninja Diffuse, which is a little bit spicy there. Two of them go down for In Control. Weary Boys hang on this one. J-Ron trying to defuse this bomb. Hunter's Fury coming through, gonna take down Kanar. Infamous, meanwhile, then takes down Niang. Parker has himself 3K, but so does Dag. There goes the showstopper. I won't get into one, but it's Parker versus Dag. But Parker doing just enough to be annoying to Dag, and they can't defuse the spike, and we'll have to get out of there. So In Control now. They pick it out a couple rounds in a row, and we certainly have a game here.
Yeah, In Control there. After getting the spike down center of the top tube there, they take two, put them towards elbow to stall as long as possible. Their job is just to die for the team, and the rest of the players just move towards Hookah, and they play lineups there. They've got their Viper mollies, they've got the Sova shock darts, and then they also have the Hunter's Fury there to stall even more time there. So In Control surely know how to use their utility. Now they just need to capitalize more on the early round fights and their early defaults as well.
Yeah, they're definitely pulling this one back in this one. And this is a pretty big round here. A little bit of an awkward buy for Weary Boys. So if Control able to take that one, they'll be fine. But quick fight starts off our rounds here. Puts us down to a 4v3 already, in control, in advantage of that one. But Niang with a couple, 3 one-taps! Beautiful stuff with the Sheriff, and all of a sudden, it's just Xenos left, but Xenos finally shuts down Niang there. And they've got the spike, but are surrounded by a couple of them. They're heading towards the B site.
You can't see me right now, but my hands are on my head.
That was absolutely nutty. Clip that one, folks. That one's certainly worth clipping. Ronnie, though, will finish down Xenos despite the spike there being planted. So we'll get the defuse here, and Weary Boys will end a little bit of the run, put themselves onto map point.
I almost got ahead of myself and said that In Control were going to win that round. Because this time around, when J-Ron peeked from the shower's position, Parker was able to actually trade back. And they had numbers advantage, and then Niang gets 4 headshots. What?
just disgusting. Just turn around, boom, 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 boom. Oh, that is completely nasty. I'm actually gonna want to watch that one again a little later. Absolutely crazy stuff. But here we go, 12-6.
When it comes to the team play and like utility usage and the strategies, it was all working well for In Control. They traded, they played their utility well. But sometimes individuals just step up in moments, and that was an individual stepping up in a particular moment and saying, no. You guys want to come back? No. It's the answer.
There's obviously so much strategy that gets into this game, and so much team play and all that, but at the end of the day, sometimes Valorant's just about clicking heads. And if you click heads that well, I can completely steal around like you just saw. Meanwhile, YOLO gets a nice shot there onto Dig, so they open up this round nicely. So In Control here with the number advantage here once again in this one. But here's Ronnie gonna meet up with Xenos. Xenos gets the better of them there. In Control now 5v3.
Out of charges.
Yeah, In Control, they need to group up here and try to push together. If they do that and space well, all they have to do is trade, and they should be able to secure the 7th round for themselves and not lose this map just yet.
J-Ron trying to slow him down there with the op, taking a little bit of damage from one of those pink hands, but can they get onto the site? They're actually rotating over towards the A site. They take the teleporter to get in there as we watch Bear walking in there, but here's Parker and U-Haul. Now Spike being planted. Niang behind the poison wall. See if they're able to get this one down here. J-Ron still trying to find someone with that op. Hasn't been able to do so in this round. Who narrowly misses that shot. But they got to think eventually about just saving here. Niang is going to meet up with Parker. Tries to pre-fire around the corner, but Parker somehow ends up getting on top of that. Xenos picks up a couple frags to end the round, and a clean one there for In Control. So despite that sketchy round just before this, they're still here, and they're still fighting. 7-12. Weary Boys got to get one more, but In Control is not making it easy for them.
Yeah, and it's going to be very, very tough to stop Weary Boys from squeezing out one little round here or there. They In Control have got to play flawless Valorant from here on out. If they make any slow misstep that gets punished by Weary Boys, this map is over. So let's see how they decide to play this out here.
I got the spike.
Yeah, they've been able to get early advantages a couple rounds in a row this time. And it's led to them ending up winning the round. As we watch Parker try to see what they can find in there. Ronnie, meanwhile, holding it down there on the B site, but Nade might do a little bit of damage. No, it didn't. They were able to avoid that. YOLO making some noise on Hookah, but patient round being played here by In Control. Ronnie now stepping up, though. Finds Bear, but Bear wins out on that one.
Yeah, I really like how In Control took control of showers with 2 players, then rotated the Sova back over towards B.
Showstopper.
Get out of here.
Infamous taken down one. YOLO took down the other. Dig on the other side of the map was able to pick up one, but
Spike planted.
Spike now planted. 2 members left for the retake of Weary Boys against the 4 of In Control. And right now, In Control is definitely going to be putting a lot of doubt in Weary Boys' head here. But can Niang do it once again here with the Sheriff?
That's what I'm seeing too, Niang with the Sheriff. This is the scariest thing in the world when it's in control, and they've seen what Niang can do on this gun. Niang walking out forward. There's the Viper wall to protect them from Long and Hookah for now.
Was just gonna try to go up there, go for the defuse, but Xenos takes it down. Dig though, able to pick up the other one here. This spike is taken away. Tries one more time, but Xenos finishes that one off clean.
Yeah, and in control there, really great call by whoever their IGL is. They took Hookah and Showers at the same time, so they have no clue where the spike is going to be going, because they could be A, they could be B. And then from there, they leave a lurker in the shower side of A to keep the players on the A side honest, to make sure they don't rotate off. I think Infamous, yeah, was the one that was able to pick one up towards Showers, so no one can rotate off A, no one can rotate off B still, and then they rotate this over back to B, and then took the site together and played the trades.
Yeah, absolutely great round put together by In Control, and you can see why they had it. We're starting to see why they were one of our dominant teams throughout the majority of this tournament. They just had a slow start to this map, and they're putting this one together. And again, you stare at that one round, that one triple kill with the Sheriff that was absolutely insane. That really put this into map point. That maybe that's the round you're thinking you're in control. Like, oh, wish we had that one back. But other than that, you've been the stronger team in the past few rounds, but you can't make a single mistake for the rest of this map.
Yeah, and looking at In Control's positioning here, it looks like they're going to go for a 4 short push, leaving their Astra lurking towards B. But now they've spotted player close. They know they're guessing, I think maybe they're baiting for someone there or something like that. And such a strong short A hold means that you rotate off and you go somewhere else that has more free space.
And that is precisely what they're doing as they make their way over to Hookah here now. But there's the Cosmic Divide.
30 seconds left.
They're starting to get onto site. We heard the announcer call for 30 seconds left, but that's plenty of time since they're already in this position. Spike being planted by Bear. Now Weary Boys 5v5 here for the retake.
And then
Hunter's Fury coming out.
Yeah, early Hunter's Fury even. Not waiting for the spike plant or spike to tap defuse yet. They're just going for it to try to get picks off the bat.
Well, Yellow's got its another one there. Weary Boys down to 3 members now.
One enemy remaining.
And Infamous grabbing another one here. Eventually, though, Ronnie, not to be forgotten, is going to grab a couple of them. But it's too little, too late as In Control take another round here. They're within 3. They've already won 3 in a row. They just got to do that again to force it overtime.
Yeah, and this is going to be another eco coming up from Weary Boys. They're going to have to save up to go for rifles again. And if this keeps happening and they keep losing their rifles, they're going to get snowballed to the point where this is going to go into overtime. And I can definitely see a world where In Control take it there. They haven't been making very big mistakes, and they haven't been losing members on their entries.
Yeah, this has been a very, very exciting map right off of the hop here. You watch Day take down the Roomba. And they're fighting for it now. Bear opens up the round, taking down Ronnie. Looks like Xenos was able to pick up 1-2 as well. So all of a sudden, Weary Boys, they're down on the numbers. 5v3. J-Ron here tries to grab one with that shotty, but Bear takes them out. So Weary Boys down to 2 people, and one is barely alive.
Yeah, and this should be an easy round for In Control here. The question is how many guns Weary Boys can take off of In Control before this round ends. And it doesn't like
Kanar here. Walking around there. That's the one who's down to very, very low health. Dig maybe just trying to surprise someone. Infamous might be able to walk into this. Get straight into them, and yeah, that's exactly what happens there. They have to take that one down, improve their gun into a Vandal, so that's something there, and then pick up another frag. Yeah, sure, why not? So as this fight ticks away, though, not gonna have enough time here on this round. Weary Boys down to just Kanar.
And Kanar just decides to die with the spike to make sure that they have enough money for the following round to purchase up for the rifles here. So this is the very big round because this round is going to send them into their match point, or it's going to send them into another eco round on the 11th round. So without guns on that round, this is the round you have to win here.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, another pause coming into this one because, well, the pauses probably have come in pretty clutch here, just adjusting strategies. In control early on, looked like they wanted to play very, very aggressive, and Weary Boys had an answer for that. And eventually, In Control has been able to adjust. They started getting the early round picks that we were saying that they weren't able to get, and Weary Boys were able to get those and get themselves some leads. And the script has suddenly flipped on this game, and yeah, it feels like we're destined to be at 12-12.
Yeah, and I just want to shout out the In Control and why this comeback has been so successful is that they've been playing the map a lot better now. What they're doing is they're throwing like a sky flash into an area to see if they're pushing down, and if they feel resistance, a nade comes out, a smoke comes out, they stop immediately and they start rotating somewhere else that has more free space for them to take. And this very level-headed, good calling from whoever the IGL is on In Control is kind of winning them all these rounds.
Yeah, it's been absolutely huge. So here we go into a very, very important round 23. And playing it calmly now is In Control again. They've been playing better off when they wait for those picks. But YOLO, well, maybe he only knows one mode of just wanting to go for it. He's peeking into Hookah here, but hasn't found anyone yet. Of course, there is just the Aster player hand on the back there.
Poison's off.
And they're starting to bring over here towards B.
Yeah, Weary Boys playing very far back on B site right now, opting for the retake, 1 in elbow, 2 towards spawn even. And this is just a lot of free space that's given up, and I'm not too sure why Weary Boys are playing this far back, where they only have a showstopper and a cosmic divide for the retake.
Yeah, can be tough. They are getting this retake off here, and right now, it almost feels like Weary Boys have been playing the last few rounds to not lose, but sometimes if you don't play to win, you still lose. And right now, Weary Boys just don't have an answer here, but can they get into this one? Can they get this retake off? Big firefight happens, leads it back down to 3, Beast to 2, and all of a sudden, fast action. Kanar is now by themselves against 2 members left. Can they pull this and clutch this one out? Try to walk through it. Does take down the Viper, so the pit does go down. 1v1. Doesn't get to the halfway point. Needed to get to the halfway point, I think. And then Xenos cleans it and finishes it off there. So we're still playing more Valorant on this map, folks. In Control within 1 round to tie this one up.
Yeah, Weary Boys, big mistake there. You can't give up sight for free, especially when a Viper is 1 off or has ultimate. Because as soon as that spike goes down, you know that Viper pit's going up. And once that Viper pit goes up, your retake becomes a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild right now, and I'm honestly dumbfounded here in this one. 12-6 was the lead for Weary Boys when it was brought into match point, but In Control have just been the better team the last 6, and they do it again. YOLO opens up the round, taking down Ronnie, who has been Weary Boys' best player. That potentially gives them access towards this B site once again, but no, they take the portal. They get over onto A. J-Ron in there. We hear the showstopper being used here. What's YOLO going to do with it? They're running aggressively, trying to find someone. J-Ron ends up going down to Bear. 3 people left here for Weary Boys, just kind of coming over here. The rotations are coming in now. Spike's starting to be planted here.
Spike planted.
It's another 45 seconds to go for In Control to try to complete their comeback. Trades coming out in Hookah here, and In Control are on top of that one, and it's now all down in Yang, and Bear gets Niang in the back, and In Control have brought this match
Switching
back.
sides.
12 to 12.
Overtime.
Overtime we go. What do you make of this,
Okay.
Johnny?
I believe in miracles. Wow, what a comeback put together by In Control. And oh, again, like I said, we're still playing on this map. And it's a best of 3, folks. We're going to get at least one more map from these two teams. And they're just playing it to the wire. And it's been awesome stuff. Look at that. They had to win 6 in a row to force overtime. And this is why you don't hit that FF button, folks, because stuff like this is possible.
Yeah, in that round, they were playing a heavy hookah stack, but or In Control, excuse me, were able to win their first duel, but it was a very long, extended duel. So that's why they're thinking, like, okay, the players are probably already rotated onto the B site. Let's just go hit A. And hitting A was the right call. They used the showstopper, clear out the close corner outside of showers, get that first kill, so the judge gets nothing. And then from there, you just play your post-plant positions.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Weary boys. It's going to take pretty strong mental not to be completely tilted now in this one. See if they can pull this off, though.
Paint shell on the mark. Infamous takes a little bit of chip damage here.
Taking that one there as we watch J-Ron walk through short. Does meet up with YOLO, taking them down. So Weary boys finally get around here where they got the opening pick. And they're trying to get onto site here, but Xenos meets up with Niang and wins that one out too as well. So we're now back to 4v4, but the spike is being planted. Nope, canceled.
40 seconds to go. They rotate over to B. It's clear that they know that for sure because they had a lurker of Daig on the site of B. Hopping out through the hookah here. And J-Ron gets shot in the back by Parker.
Spike planted. There.
All right, cool. Good call to get that spike over there, but now 4 people left here. They got the numbers advantage for this retake. Starting to make it on there too now. They're getting through the portal to get through mid.
Ronnie's going to get timing on 2 players here. Ronnie.
Oh, the nasty flank. Ronnie wants to get on top of this one. He's gotten in behind all of them. Can they pull us off, though? Kanar does get one more here. Kanar is actually the one taking it all down. Even though Ronnie was the one on the flank here.
Enemy remaining. Parker
picking up 3, goes down eventually. Daig here to finish it off, takes him down. And everyone goes down.
Switching sides.
But Weary boys
Match point.
pick up that round.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me that In Control, like, they have such a good attack side, but when it comes to defense, that time they had an A setup with only 2 players, but what they did was they set up 1 player towards showers by themselves, and then they set up 1 player towards U-Haul by themselves. And in those situations, you can't be traded, and that's exactly what happens. A player walks down short. They were going to do the Astra Nova Pulse combined with the dash, but they got the pick straight up anyways, and there's no trade back. And now it's just Zeno by himself in the showers, and after that, they just teleported away because they know the rotations are coming through spawn, and they get B-site for free through a lurk.
Revealing area.
Oh, all right. Well, so far, just attackers wins. Let's see if that trend continues here, or if Weary boys are going to finally finish this one off. But playing this one pretty close to their chest right now, are In Control. YOLO, though, as always, playing up the aggressive spot. Does take down a good amount of damage here, though. Will be healed back up there.
That's the value of the Sky. Everyone running the Phantoms get that 140 headshot dink, but the Sky's going to heal you back up to 100. So it's pretty value, if you ask me, especially with the other util that Sky can provide with 3 flashes, as well as the Tasmanian Tiger to seek out information.
All right, running on site now. Daig opens it up, traded with Bear. Parker grabs another one. Niang's going to meet up with someone here, but they were switching guns. Parker takes him down. Unfortunate timing there. Infamous, though, eventually takes down Kanar, so it just leaves 1 member left here of Weary Boys to try to extend this one.
And it looks like the pattern holds true. Attackers do, in fact, win.
Yeah, Attackers OP. Maybe that's the name of this game. Oh, Parker with the 3K on this round. Absolutely huge into that one. And we're still playing on bottom.
Yeah, and it might have looked like there to most viewers that YOLO just kind of went in there YOLO and died, but YOLO found so much information on that entry, made it so easy for the team to know exactly which corners to clear out and which corners didn't need it clear. And from there, they just trade out the first kill. Timing was a little bit unlucky for Niang, trying to switch the Viper's poison, but it still would have gone the way of In Control even if that kill went the other way, so good round coming out.
Yeah, definitely there, and we're back into more overtime. As Dig is going to open up this one, so Weary Boys now have their advantage, but YOLO able to even it back up. 4v4.
Nice fix there. In Control, taking their 2 players and fighting together in the short position rather than having a solo play. So this is going to even things back up, and there's no map control besides be long for Weary Boys, and they have 1 minute to work with.
Ronnie going to meet up with YOLO. Ronnie wins. Ronnie then jumps up and then takes down Bear. Ronnie trying to put this game into their own hands.
And they're so aware of the solo player towards Showers. Weary Boys finding all the picks that they need.
Ooh. Parker able to take advantage of KNR there, so it's just Parker here. Trying to get something done here. Ronnie, who's had such a good round, will eventually go down here. But can Parker even get close to this spike?
Want to know if the Viper and the Rays have lineups for the post-plant tap here, and it looks like there will be as the poison cloud goes up and Niang runs back towards short.
He fakes the defuse, waiting for them to come up forward to them, but they don't bite on it. Niang eventually takes him down. And Weary Boys have advantage here in this overtime, but it's going to come down to who gets their first defense.
Yeah, and in that round, I think the play by In Control there was actually a good play, but they weren't able to find the frags that they needed in the moments that they needed it. So walking down short like that just to get some information and walking together, mind you, was very, very good. But after that, Bear wasn't able to trade back on YOLO's peak, and Bear dies as well to Ronnie, and that just gives them open the A side. And that fight decided that round there.
Ooh, all right. Let's see what Weary Boys can get done if they can finally finish this game out over In Control. Just, want to keep playing. Of course, best of 3, so they are going to keep playing no matter what happens at the end of this one. But it does feel like if it's this close, you really want to get that first map advantage because it might be just the difference that's enough to win this best of 3. But we'll see as we get this one further. This is definitely a tough test on both teams' mental. As we were watching In Control here stacked on short A.
And In Control making the right call here to rotate out. They weren't able to get a lot of space up short. Lots of Astra utility being answered back on the side of Weary Boys. And with 50 seconds to go, they still have lots of time to try to take control of one last push. So they're going to split here with a 3 towards Hookah. And the Sova and Astra probably hitting along late.
Okay. Let's get met. There's only 30 seconds left to go here, so they're now making the hit over onto this B side. J-Ron opens it up. They grabbing another. They're going to throw out that nade.
And with 20 seconds to go, this is looking very dire for In Control. They need to find this pick onto this player on U-Haul. If they are not able to kill Ronnie without losing a player, this could be the game for them.
Yeah, Ronnie's got himself into his real spicy spot here. Here's the defuse, but Xenos is able to find them out here. Parker grabs another here.
Toxin screen down.
Just like that, In Control taking back control of the round from a 5v3 situation.
Okay,
but as we say that, J-Ron finds one onto Infamous, and it's back to 2v2. Yang!
Oh, only Xenos left here to defend the spike. They gotta rush them together here. The end goes out first. Xenos goes one. There's a chance here, but J-Ron takes him out.
Xenos, you had it. You had it. You found the timing on the first as they were shooting the Viper poison onto the short, and then the swing on the second, but just a little bit of a whiff there. And that's going to let Weary Boys take this first map 15-13 in a very, very close nail biter.
Whoa. all right. We gotta shake that one up. Man, sometimes after game number one, you saw it was like a complete blowout. You're like, oh, I kind of hope it's not just like this all night, whatever. And this, even how this game started, you thought, oh, one team might be blowing on another one up here. Again, up 12-6. Huge comeback. We play a bunch of overtime, but in the end, Weary Boys just narrowly take it out.
Yeah, and if you're in control right there, you're not upset about that game because every single last round that you were picking up at the end is gonna carry over to your next map. It's gonna help your mental out. You know for sure. Oh yeah, we can keep up with these guys, and we can definitely beat them if we could just get that whatever was working in those 6 rounds when they went on that run to start from the beginning of the map. Then maybe they could just stomp out the next map. And I'm not too sure whether or not whose pick that map was as well. It might not have been In Control's best map, as In Control were undefeated coming into this match today. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I think that was Weary Boys' pick, it looks like, if our sheet there is correct. So, yeah, well, we're going to see where we're going to next one. It's going to be a 5-minute break here quickly before our next map. I want you to give our sponsors a shout here, Bowser, before we get into that break.
Yeah, so shoutouts once again to Ncorp. If you want a fast and easy way to recycle energy drinks, cans of pop, anything you need recycled, you can go to a Return Express. It's super easy, no sorting, no lineups, no cash handling, and refunds are deposited straight to your online account. You can just drop off your empties at an express depot near you and go. So signing up is easy too. Just head over to return-it.ca/express to give your empties a second life. And a shout out to our other sponsor as well, Monster Cat. And if you haven't heard about them yet, Monster Cat Gold is a feature that they have introduced recently. And it's a great service for $5 a month where you can download and stream thousands of Monster Cat songs from top electronic artists. You can use music in your live streams and no fear of any DMCA strikes or anything. This is all licensed. So shout out to Monster Cat and M Corp for making today's tournament happen. This is TGS, and we'll be right back after a 5-minute break.
Okay, welcome back. TGS Anniversary Month Valorant Tournament, and we got an absolute banger here in our semi-final. Well, they were down 12-6, were in control, and we thought they were going to be dead and gone, and we were going to go to map 2 right away, but they weren't ready to give that one up. They force overtime after winning 6 in a row, and only narrowly don't take that last round. And man, I got to ask you, Bowser, as someone who's a coach, and I'm going to say as me, as a person who gets tilted very easily, how are you not tilted after getting so close in that first map?
I think the biggest thing that they did that was really, really important is they took a tactical timeout. And it's such a small, simple thing to highlight, but a lot of times when you're down 12-6, some teams will just check out and they'll be like, oh yeah, let's go next, right? You see chat spamming it all the time and on all those big matches. But what they did was they took the tackle timeout. They probably talked over, okay, yeah, these are the things that are happening right now. This is where we're losing. And they figured out exactly what they needed. And that's very, very important to see from a really big team like this, because this is going to carry over to their next map. They know that this was not our map pick, and we took it to the very, very end with them. And we're going to just see more amazing Valorant coming out of them moving over to Haven.
Yeah, and that's a big note. Like you said, not their map pick, and they were still able to bring it that close. And what was really cool for me is you definitely saw that maybe they weren't as comfortable with maps. Like, okay, we'll out firing, but it wasn't working. And then they actually adjusted what they were doing, and a lot of things you were saying that they needed to do better and they need to do cleaner at the beginning of rounds that were putting them behind, that led to the big deficit they had, they started to improve on and started to get better and better and better, and then finally able to make it a solid map and a very, very close one. So they're, you could treat this 2 ways. Oh man, we could have won that one, it was so close because we almost made the comeback. Or now you're in the head of Weary Boys, who felt like they were going to have an easy first map, and it wasn't easy by any means.
Yeah, and speaking about getting better, we can give a shout out to making our experience in the game better here, as our sponsors are making this event as awesome as possible. So
I like that transition. Of course, a couple of our sponsors that are awesome. One of them being Kanto. If you're looking for the final piece for your work from home or gaming setup, find everything you need to build the best workstation or battle station at KantoLiving.com. Check out their monitor mounts, speakers, and stands today. And of course, TGS as the other sponsor, the gaming stadium that is putting on this tournament on for you folks. They're the next big thing in competitive gaming. They'll put on tournaments like this one and tons of other esports. They're the leaders in online esports and events. Check out the action at tgs.gg. And here we go into Haven. We were talking a little bit off air. I'm a little bit more of a Counter-Strike guy, so I really, really like when I see Haven because there's just no map like this in Counter-Strike. You got the 3 sites, and very, very excited to see how this goes. And again, this is In Control's map pick, so it'll be very interesting to see if they just know this map better than Weird Boys not.
Yeah, and the name of the game when you play Haven is taking control of the extremities. So that's going to be Garage and A long or A short. And it looks like that's what the In Control are trying to do. They're going to play 2 towards long, holding that cross here. And it's going to be Jet pushing all the way through. Might be some contact with the Cypher, but doesn't look like the case.
Oh, yeah. They just kind of made their way over there. No one's going to figure this one out. Weary Boys playing this one fairly passively. Again, this has kind of come down to, every round has kind of come down to who gets early picks first. Right now we're watching YOLO hold down the C site, but looks like the rest of Weary Boys are starting to make their way towards A with 55 seconds left here on this round.
And they're going to find the information. Jet's going to get that information and dash back onto the A side. And now they're going to try to play for what looks to be a rotation over towards B.
Careful now.
Yep, they are starting to come over towards that. YOLO holding this one down as best they can, but they're getting the plant off. Day picks off one, but we watch YOLO get taken down here by J-Ron as Kanar takes down Zeno. So we get left with Infamous here. And Infamous grabs 2. So you're saying there's a chance.
But 47 HP on pistols. This is going to be a tough one to win out because you can't find the instant headshots that you're going to need.
Everyone playing way back here. And eventually Niang cleans that one up. Weary Boys off to the pistol round win.
Yeah, on paper there, I really thought that In Control were going to take that round. They didn't have any of their utility baited out early round by Weary Boys, besides maybe like the Jet Dash and a Cloudburst or 2. So when they were trying to hit B there was the hot hands of Phoenix sitting at front sight that they had to run through. Then a Nano Swarm behind it that they also had to run through. And half of their team was below half HP. But In Control kind of rushed into the site retake before the plant was finished to try to take some fights. And that kind of lost them all. And they lost all their gun duels from there. And what looked to be on paper an In Control round turned into Weary Boys round because of the lack of, I would say, patience to retake the site after the spike plant.
There you go. They're moving towards the A site now. Kanar's tries to check over here. A very interesting fight that Kanar somehow wins on top of that one. They're able to grab that one here. A little bit of a panic, but let's see what the 4 members left here of In Control can do to retake this one.
Yeah, the A retake is very, very hard when you don't have mid control. Weary Boys has their Astra moving down mid. It's probably going to be good for at least one on the flank here, too.
They found my cage trigger.
Yeah, they're starting to move into this one. J-Ron picking that one up with the Marshall. As Niang hits a very, very nice shot there, but gets traded down immediately. Ronnie then picks down the other 2 members of In Control. So Weary Boys off to a solid start here, 2-0. But now let's see what In Control can do with some rifles.
Yeah, Weary Boys playing that round very, very cleanly, carrying over a lot of these bonus weapons. I think a Marshall and at least 3 Spectres are being brought over into this round. So it's going to be a difficult round to win if you're In Control, but a round that you need to win to keep the rifles with you.
No charges left.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to get into that one because they don't want to get as far behind as they did in the first game. Obviously, they've proven that they can handle it, but imagine if they won one more round earlier on in that first map. They might be up 1-0 instead of behind the 8 ball here, but see if they can get their game started sooner here.
Yeah, in control there, using the Odin to try to spam the garage window and having their Jet walk down to look for an opening pick. Unfortunately, not able to connect the headshot that Bear needs to open up this round, but a lot of information nonetheless. So that allows in control to rotate a third player towards C here. But it looks like Weary Boys are playing the rotations correctly and going back to A now.
Yeah, they are in that, going through A long. Well, actually splitting up here as 3 of them are going short, but no frags yet, but guns are starting to be fired off here. Niang gonna try to walk in and onto site. Looks like they're giving it up and gonna go attempt for the retake. Ronnie's getting this plant now.
I hope in control here take mid control and go for the flank as well and not try to funnel out all through spawn and heaven.
Here they come now. YOLO jumping in there on the Phoenix here on this round. Gets taken down by Ronnie. And Bear's going to be able to trade that one out. So Weary Boys now down to 2 members. Here Ronnie's trying to peek out there. Gets taken down by Parker. Infamous cleans up the rest of that round. So in control, successfully retake here. And we'll be within 1.
Yeah. Even though they did all funnel through heaven and spawn, they did have the gun advantage. They were able to spam out players and do lots of damage to the boxes there and make the retake a little bit easier for themselves. As well, it seemed like the Wary Boys didn't have much utility to stop them from funneling out spawn. So that made it a little bit easier for In Control to come in there and get some damage off. And that's going to let them carry over a lot of their rifles to this round here. But Xenos is going to be put on a SMG, though.
All right. Let's see if Control can tie this one back up or if Weary Boys are going to get themselves ahead here on this one. There. Wayne and Smoke. Infamous making lots of noise.
Instant Nebula's coming out, top of B, top of C. That top of C Nebula is very, very good for the attacker side as it forces the defense to either walk through it to try to challenge you for that orb, or they have to try to spray through the smoke where you can have a teammate holding for you to spray back as well. And that orb is free basically every round for attackers.
Let's see, moving through mid now. We watch Daig trying to peek through double doors here.
Nice utility to answer back. They dropped an Astra Star in garage window. So Hot Hands going instantly towards garage doors and getting that Al drone off for free. But Niang lurking in with the Jet onto A. It's going to be the Killjoy setup for retake A, though.
40 seconds left here on the round. They've got it onto the A site, but again, they've kind of conceded this up a little bit, confident in their ability to retake. Infamous though walks right into J-Ron. They're able to back off now. Spike now planted.
I really like that play from J-Ron there. Silently walking into the spike site and then going for more because they have no clue how much space J-Ron's going to take there. And J-Ron just able to find a freebie on someone holding out their knife.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those plays where it's like that looks like a play to win kind of play. Daig with the running back, able to find one there before being taken down. Here they are trying to run onto the site now, trying to go for this retake. Bear and Xenos take down a couple. J-Ron was able to grab one of them out there, but there's Daig here, gets one, doesn't take out another though. Bear picking him off, but Kanar will close out that round. Weary Boys here now up 3-1.
Yeah, once again, it's just the fundamentals of playing together on your post plan. They had 2 players towards the right side of site with their backs against the wall to fight any players coming into back site, and then the rest of the players together short to fight any players going towards the front site from the other path. So all paths were covered to try to get out from spawn in heaven. And in that kind of situation, that's where the flank becomes very, very important, where you send a player down mid to go back from a lobby, and unfortunately gets taken out by the Phoenix. And from there, it's just an easy hold.
Yeah, Weary Boys now. Trying not to get too weary here in this one because it's shaping up to potentially be a long one, but they got a nice little lead here as they're starting to make over into the C site. Run it back being popped now as they run straight into it in control. Looks like, once again, they're potentially okay with just letting them have the site initially here, but Dag not okay
Spike planted.
with them being able to back off here. But Bear going to be able to pick up one frag there with their ultimate, so evens up the numbers here, but they have this spike planted.
Yeah, Weary Boys are going to be aware of all these
Oh.
players coming to the flank. Lots of shots coming out. J-Run and Dag are able to find those frags on every player along there. And Weary Boys living with 4. Another convincing round coming out from them.
Yeah. Weary Boys right now, when they get the frag, I think they might just be like a shade better at just pure gunfights, I think In Control is, but like we saw in the first map, when In Control is able to kind of get their set plays off, they have some success, but right now it's in favor of Weary Boys here on this one early on in this first half, but they are up a map already, and this has got to be putting on some pressure on In Control. They got potentially feeling like they really got to win this next round here. Trade.
That trade actually favors Weary Boys there because now they get 2 for 1.
Yeah, they're able to take that one, and of course, like, yeah, attackers trading 1 for 1 just gives you information, lets you know where you can get on site. You know that there's like they got to split up the people defending, so always is nice for the attackers to kind of get that. And like you said, even nicer when you actually go up 2 for 1. Just makes the rest of your life easier there. But here's Dag meeting up with Xenos to pick up another one here. So 4v2 as In Control here
Planted.
are backed off. Parker tried to slow it down there with the Hunter's Fury, but might have just been a wasted ultimate in this situation where there's still 4 people up for Weary Boys.
Last player standing.
Nice shot, Ronnie.
Parker's probably going to just opt to save the rifle here, but isn't even given a chance to. That recon bolt is going to scan him out and finish him off as Ronnie finishes that round with the 3K. It's just like you said. It really does seem like Weary Boys are a little bit better when it comes to the mechanics of the game. They're finding the headshots a little more consistently, even in that situation where it was just Dag and Xenos in the garage window to garage fight. Dag finds a headshot and Xenos doesn't, and it's just those extra 1v1 headshots, whoever can find them first, that are also making a difference in a lot of these rounds.
Yeah, and it's just putting Weary Boys up again on the top, but you can't count In Control out. They've been down 6 before, and they can certainly get right back in this one. They are at an eco here in this round, so let's see how this goes. But they're playing this one aggressively as they've pushed forward 3 of them through C long.
Yeah, Weary Boys are not aware, but the A site is completely free for the taking.
Ooh, and maybe they'll be aware shortly here. Yang, though, is able to at least trade 1 for 1 while the rest of them go, oh, we got to start getting our move on. But Dag is stuck here around spawn. Or is he stuck? He gets himself a frag. And J-Ron, already on site, is planting the bomb. And somehow Dag is going to get out of there. The escape artist, Dag himself. Oh, it finally gets found out. Xenos takes him out, but then Ronnie comes and joins the fight to pick off 2. Bear eventually taking him down, but it's only Bear left against the 2, and the bomb, or rather the spike's been planted for a while.
Yeah, and Weary Boys just need to play in a situation where they're able to trade this frag out or stall as much time as possible.
Whew.
Or J-Run just finds headshot.
Yeah, or just kill him. Weary Boys up 6-1. But again, I just find it difficult to completely count out In Control, even though Weary Boys right now just look like the cleaner team. They look way stronger, but you could say the literal same things about what happened in map number 1. So it's still worth watching to see how the rest of this one goes. In Control know what they can do. That was, of course, another save round, so they potentially bought up rifles here up in this one and can defend on this one. This is a big round here for In Control.
And big round as an opening frag is given over to Dag, but Parker trades right back, and that gives them full control of A long from that trade. So 4v4 situation. but Weary Boys are up in the ultimate department. They've got the Hunter's Fury, they've got the Neural Theft, and the Cosmic Divide. So they can play this however they like, as long as they don't lose those players with their ultimate. So we'll see how they opt to play the defensive situation.
You are
If it's going
divided.
back to the Odin over and over again here in this one.
Pulling them, knocking them.
See if we get this one worth, but J-Ron taking down Parker. As they're starting to rotate on over towards the A side. Cannon's getting that plant off. Here's Infamous with that Odin.
Blocking sight.
Couple frags go down as Bear's now sitting up here in heaven. Trying to get into here now, Infamous. Walking through on the site, but out of the find. Turns around, does find Ronnie. Even numbers once again here at 2v2. Bear now jumping down. Finds the one in hell. But Niang takes down Bear. Infamous takes down the other. And in control. Gonna be able to take down this one. Absolutely huge map, but Infamous wins the Battle Royale here.
Not too sure why Weary Boys decided to go for the site hold rather than sit back with their ultimates and try to play the post plant, especially when you have the Hunter's Fury up. Maybe they were just confident in their aim and that they could just hold the site without using the Hunter's Fury, and they were saving it to try to open up the next round rather than play the post plant. But
Yeah.
that costs them that round there when it definitely should have been a round for Weary Boys.
Yeah, especially since it would have forced In Control into another like quasi buy the round after that, or a save round. Like that's like the one of the premier opportunities I think to use your ultimates out there to ensure a round. But
You're dead.
well, it gives In Control certainly a shot at this one. Dig now popping that run it back. We'll get forced back here.
Oh.
J-Ron through the smoke picks up one. Ends up getting shot from behind though. Parker then walks up here, takes down another.
And Bear's got them flanked around, so all these players back here are going to be trapped up, and it's up to Bear to find the second here, but opts to dash away instead.
Yeah. Happy potentially with that one pick they got, but they're backing straight up into Niang. Neural Theft's going to come through, so they get all the information they need, decide where to go, and go, oh, A site's open, so they're heading on that way.
Yeah, Cyber Cage set up, a spy cam as well. To hopefully play this post plant a little bit better than the last. They're going to get a plant that's planted for both long and short, but they're going to go for the double short play here. No other retake utility, and they're going to clear out their flanks as well, so they should be so aware that these players are definitely going to be coming from both Heaven and Spawn.
Yeah, just watching it through the camera, see where they go in here. They see that they are starting to make the move up here. Gonna put up the cage. Fake defuse, throws out the flash. YOLO does take down Dig, but Niang takes down Parker. 1v1. Are they sticking this defuse? They stopped it. YOLO, though, takes down the frag and has just enough time for this defuse. In fact, 1.5 seconds to spare. So In Control take down another round here. 3-6.
Yeah, and that was also another round where it's a situation when you're in a 2v2 where I think they were trying to play for a spike stall. They had some of the time for it, but not quite. It might have been better just to play together and try to fight together. Maybe don't let them come out spawn, have a crossfire, graffiti, and ammo. I think that would have been a nice post-plant setup to counter the play that came out. But that's a tough situation to call when you're in the pressure, in the moment, trying to make those plays.
Yeah, and it's definitely kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, you kind of just hope that your experience kind of shines through in on that one, but it's sometimes tough there as we watch J-Ron open up this round. So Weary Boys got the advantage here in this one.
But Bear trades back onto Ronnie, so we're going to even up the numbers here. And now it's a Killjoy versus Soval. They're going to hold on to these ults because no one wants to use it for the other. So we'll see how this round does play out. The Aldrin's going to come through, and J-Ron's going to be able to walk in for free again to the A site.
Yeah, J-Ron able to get onto the site there. Niang getting behind the box too as well. Got him dazed up here a little bit. Infamous, though, waiting for all these smokes to go down. Killjoy using their ultimate here in this one. And they're running onto site down now. The lockdown is destroyed. Trade there by J-Ron and YOLO. Still 3v3. A couple of them are hanging out in long. Niang now going to walk up, take down Bear. Defuse started up here. Got to the halfway mark. YOLO then turns around, takes down Niang. 1v1 left here. Fakes the defuse. But it's just enough time stalled here, it looks like, by Kanar. And what a wild, wild round here. Weary Boys now up 7-3.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of rounds where basically J-Ron is able to just walk up into the A site for free, and they just get that spike plan off. And generally, at least with most teams that I watch, I feel like they do not like to play the retake A situation, and for that reason, being that there's so much space that they can take up when they play post plant. They could be on site, they could be playing long, they could be playing double short, there could be a mid lurk coming up. There's so many scenarios, and so most teams either opt to die and play and fight for a long and short rather than just play retake. And as I say that, lots of action happening.
J-Ron, Niang, Kanar. That's just me reading names. Those 3 people got frags. In control, only have 2 people left.
And this is a round where it was an eco.
J-Ron.
So
Yeah, exactly. And it's a clean anti-eco right now here by Weary Boys. As Parker's last one here, and what do they got going for them? They're gonna maybe try to find a pick here.
Revealing area.
Their drone gets taken out,
There they are.
but they are completely surrounded here. Can they find one? No, they cannot. Niang gets that one clean anti-eco by Weary Boys. And we'll put them up 8-3 going into the last round before the end of the half.
all right, I'm gonna do something absolutely crazy here and say Weary Boys are gonna win this map, and it's gonna be convincing. Absolutely crazy.
There's no way In Control come
There's
back.
no way.
Chance.
I've never had a caster curse in my life either, too.
Never.
2 false statements back to back. I mean, I have 2 true statements.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what happens. Hey, if In Control win this round, it'll be 8-4, and 8-4 is how the last half started.
Get out of my way.
So that's clearly close enough for In Control if they can get that one. So let's see how this one goes out here. YOLO runs it back. Not able to find a frag, though, doing it. Parker, though, finds the frag without anything special. Just shoots him in the face. So 4 people left here for Weary Boys. And yeah, maybe In Control will take this round as they got the early lead in this one. Ronnie finding Infamous here and then takes him down, though. So it's even numbers once again until that happens. Xenos takes him down. 3 people left for Weary Boys. And they're going to switch gears here and potentially go over towards the C site.
And the script looks like it's going the way we wrote it. We wanted In Control to get the 4th round here. And they're going to be in the 4v3 retake situation. Dig's not going to find any value from the run it back. Just some space that they can take for free.
Spike
Yeah,
planted.
at least give them information that they know they can get onto the site here. But now let's see what they can do here. They're all going to hang out in C long as people off due to defend this site. You'll now going to try to get here in on this one, checking a couple corners.
Yeah, they still have this flank tripwire up, but Dig is going to be spotting it out. Dig's going to
Dig.
find first on Parker. Dig another one.
Dig! Oh, Kadar finished the last one, but what a beauty 3K by Dig going, no, we deny your script until letting Control take that 4th round. They're now up 9-3.
Hey, Dig, that's not part of the script. You can't do that.
Dude. did you read it?
Yeah, In Control are supposed to go 4-8 so we can make the comeback. Oh, you want to make it?
Man.
You want to make it a tighter comeback? Okay.
Okay,
right.
cool. All right. Second half here. And again, they're back 6 rounds. Not insurmountable as they've already proven. Let's see if they get that one. But again, Weary Boys looking cleaner in this round, looking like the cleaner team, looking like the team that can frag a little bit better. But In Control, they apparently can flip a switch and get themselves right back into this one. Very important pistol round coming up.
Yeah, and one thing I already noticed from Weary Boys that's completely different than In Control is their Astra utility placement right when they start. So they place a gravity well outside of A lobby, and then they have Jet push all the way to A lobby. And that's what I've seen very popular teams in Masters do, where they don't give A and play rate a retake.
Oh.
And as I say that, perfect tripwire gets Dag the first kill of the round.
Yeah, able to grab that one there. Infamous looking at C long, but so is Niang, and Niang forces them back there a little bit. See, can they move here onto the B site? It looks like what they want to go for. Bear dashes over to the side, so to clear the way towards getting towards the A site instead, actually. And right now that A site is pretty clear. Infamous, though, does take down J-Ron, who was hanging back a little bit. But Niang picking up another one here. Puts it to a 4v3, so 3 people on in control here.
Yeah, and
Trying to defend a retake.
that mid fight was very, very important. If that went the way of J-Ron, J-Ron gets a pick on the infamous lurk. No lurk coming in for the flank, and J-Ron can go back to A lobby, and they can crunch from all sides on the retake.
Xenos putting down turret. Kanar down to pretty low HP here. Shock arrow coming up there. Here's Niang with 10 HP, just enough to walk around, take down Parker. Xenos, meanwhile, though, finds Kanar up here in heaven, then takes down Ronnie. Wants to jump back down, but Dag will finish them off, and Weary Boys will clean up that round. 10-3 lead here.
Yeah, all jokes aside, though, script or whatnot and what have you, it really does seem like Wary Boys have done their homework when it comes to Haven. They know, like, the common utility usage. So, as I was mentioning, the Astra Smoke that people do a lobby, that's also a very common tripwire in Garage. And that tripwire, normally people actually can just sit behind the wall, and you can spam with even a Vandal or Phantom through the garage window and find that frag. And that's the tripwire that I've seen Dapper use quite a lot, and it didn't seem like in Controller were aware, and he's using that same tripwire this round as well, as I say it.
There we go. J-Ron here. Got the Marshall. Here's Dag sitting in the middle of the smoke here. And then finds the one walking through. Takes down 3 before finally being taken down by Xenos, but definitely damage done by Dag. Ronnie then takes down Xenos, and the last member left there of Bear. So Weary Boys up 11-3.
Yeah, and that's just how the eco round goes. When you got classics, you don't get the first right click. The Spectre's gonna spray you down at that close range. So very simple bonus round gonna be coming out. A lot of the guns from the previous round being carried over here. And one thing that I want to mention from the round before, though, is that the tripwire actually got instantly broken Garage. So we didn't get to see it, but I'm speculating in my head that it was probably a shock dart that went into Garage that they did. So maybe in Control are actually aware of that Garage wire. Let's see if that happens this round as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely look out for that. But slower round being played here by In Control. They do have rifles up here in this one, but this one feels like the game if you don't take this map. But, you know, 12-3 feels way different than 12-6. That's what I'll say.
Yeah,
But
interesting. Aldrone going up mid. No one walking up with it, so didn't really find that much value. And now Kanar's going to re-clear mid with the Aldrone, so completely counters the play that In Control we're trying to take there. And Bear finding 2 in the Garage as Ronnie trades back on the flank.
yeah, able to find those 2. In Control with the numbers advantage and just more firepower, but they were able to steal one of those guns. YOLO then takes down Kanar here. J-Ron trying to find something with the Marshall up here in heaven. Does find YOLO somehow.
Spike planted.
Take that one down. Spike here is planted. Ronnie now in behind them. Person right on their left, though. Right on their left. That's a bad sentence, but directly to their left. And Infamous takes them out. In Control. Final round win here. Let's see what Weary Boys can do. They're going to buy up some rifles.
Yeah, so nice play there by Bear. Bear trying to threaten the Garage take. Finds 2, but the rest of the team was heading over towards A. So instead of Bear trying to push up through the Garage window to take more space, Bear got flanked by Ronnie, but the distraction caused 3 players to collapse on Garage, and A site becomes free.
All right. In Control, trying to keep this game close. And if they can find a way to do that, it could also be a case in general, too, that like both these teams might just be better at attacking. That could be the other half of it. Weary Boys looking very, very clean on attacker side both times. But so of In Control. And if in control, if in control do it again, I don't even know what to say. But Infamous walks up, takes down J-Ron, huge because that's the Opper.
Yeah, operator down on the side of in control, and Bear finds another big opening picks there. And the spike's gonna go down towards B here. Kanar looking to look for some chip damage. Oh, spike not down.
Oh, not quite there. Dig gonna use the run it back. And with that run it back, takes down 2. Kanar then taking down Bear 2 as well. Leaves YOLO here. Flashes to try to get in there. Able to pick up 1, but not the other. So that will be now match point here for Weary Boys. And they have 8 opportunities to win the game.
Yeah, and that looked like a mistake coming out from in control there. I think Parker just got off the bomb right before it was planted. Might have let go or fat fingered something to put him off the spike. And because of that, in control or Weary Boys are just like, oh, they're not done planning. Let's just push them because he has to plan again then. And then we have numbers advantage now, and we win the round, and now it's 12-4.
Yeah, that's easy math. They're able to get that one here. Weary Boys here. Man, you gotta feel like they want to just close this one out, right?
Yeah.
Just like what happened last map, you just gotta go, okay, we just close this one out quick so that they can like maybe even like de-stress, because they still got a final to play after this. Like we just jump into the finals right after this. It's not like you play the next day or whatever. So they probably want to get that wee bit of a break and maybe end this one sooner than later.
Yeah, and let's see how in control play this final round. They haven't been playing around this Astra util that much. They've just been avoiding it, going somewhere else, and then re-hitting. And I think they might be going for some sort of play towards A this time to counteract this Astra utility. That's probably what they're talking about in their tag timeout, but not too sure what the game plan will be coming out for real here.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see how that goes here, because they somehow got to pull off 8 wins in a row. I'm actually going to give a shout to if production of my ear can. I would love to give the folks at home an update on how the other match is going too as well. So if you can guys let me know, so I can let them know, that'd be great. But we're gonna see who meets up with one of these two teams. Again, I don't want to completely count in control out. Very, very close to the gigantic comeback in that first one.
Okay, it looks like it's an instant double up draft. He's gonna look for the pick here. Bear not quite able to connect it. And production didn't give me an update, but I can see on the bracket at home that Puggers has beat T-Val White, so we will see Puggers in the finals.
Nice, nice. T-Val White was the other undefeated team in the Swiss round, so awesome that Puggers pulled it off, but we also saw Puggers in that quarterfinal, so they looked really strong there. So it'll be a very interesting final either way. But here's YOLO trying to make a play here to get one. Will just go back. Xenos, meanwhile, did take down Ronnie here. Then meets up with Kanar, who wins out in that firefight, putting us back to a 4v4.
Yeah, 2 members of Weary Boys sitting at like 1 HP, so no healers on either side means that they're going to be sitting for 1 HP on the rest of this match, or round, excuse me.
Or maybe it's the rest of the match. That could have been a Freudian slip. That could end up being true. Let's see here. They're walking towards A here now.
Got the Astra util. They're going to stun default and probably smoke off spawn. There's the jet cloud burst to stop anything, but Kanar has the retake dark ready.
There's the Hunter's Fury trying to slow down this plant. They started up now, though. Can they defend it? J-Ron just walks up and shotguns YOLO in the face. Then he picks up their gun to pick out Parker. J-Ron looking to get a little more done here. Weary Boys will finish this one off. They'll be our semi-final winner on this side of the bracket. And then they will meet up with Puggers in our final.
Yeah, very exciting game coming out from Weary Boys. First one, they were up a lot, but they got come back on because in control just turned it on for a little bit. And it was very, very exciting to see and control play that. And then when it came to Haven, I really think it was just more the textbook homework that you have to do on Haven and know how to play it. Even though you pick the right comps with Astra, you've got to understand where the chokes are that they commonly play. And it really seemed like they had a better hold and a better grasp of how to play that map there, especially with the double star setup outside a lobby, the Cypher trip and garage, and then knowing when to drone, knowing when to take space, when to rotate out, how to sell a fake. It really seemed like it was a little more towards the side of Weary Boys.
Yeah, and that's a kind of wild 2-0, and it definitely was closer than simply that. Of course, In Control should be very, very proud with how they played in this tournament. Again, undefeated through Swiss rounds, comes to this one, almost makes that giant comeback in game number 1, but ultimately Weary Boys going to the finals. And it's interesting, two teams the two undefeated teams through the Swiss rounds are both knocked out in the semis. So Weary Boys and Puggers will meet up in this finals, and I'm very excited to see how that one shakes out.
Yeah, but before we head into the finals, we got to shout out once again to our sponsors, Ncorp. If you want a fast and easy way to recycle energy drinks, cans of pop, juice boxes you finished, there's Return Express, and they're so easy to use. No sorting, no lineups, no cash handling, refunds deposit straight to your online account. You just got to drop it off at your empties at an express depot near you. Signing up is also super easy. All you have to do is head over to return-it.ca/express to give your empties a second life. And also shout out to Monster Cat. If you haven't heard about Monster Cat Gold, it's a great new service that's for $5 a month, where you can download and stream thousands of Monster Cat songs from top electronic artists, and you can use your music in anything, your content that you're creating. If you're just playing a DM because you're waiting for the finals to start in TGS, you can put on some Monster Cat music, DMCA free.
Yeah, and thanks again to those sponsors, folks. We're going to set up our final match here. Puggers versus Weary Boys. Best of 3 to decide the champions of the TGS Anniversary Valorant Tournament. We'll be back, folks, as we set that up. I think there's going to be a little bit of a break here, about 10 minutes or so, to give the teams, a little bit breather after that best of 3, but we'll be right back into it. So stay tuned, folks. We'll see you all soon.